I'd seen more dead animals than live ones in the last 24 hours, and now it was dogs. 3 of them. I thought about Maggie and nearly threw up. A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? Obviously, he'd been killed with an explosive, and not just because he'd been plastered on the wall with 1,000 strokes. The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story. The killer was an expert. The charge had been big enough to do the job, but not big enough to shatter the soundproof walls of the float chamber. But I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him.
Lagging behind again?
Gouza didn't say anything about me working with a partner.
Oh, in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. Could be it's linked to this Tyrell debacle.
How's yours connected to mine?
I'm still fitting the pieces together. You know the moon bus massacre that went down last month?
Gaff mentioned something about it.
The rogue skin jobs probably flew to Earth. And one of them is a demolitions expert, similar MO to your Vic upstairs.
Hell of a coincidence.
I'll call you if I find out anything more about your case.
You friendly with Eisendoller?
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus, Dr. Eisendoller, he almost never left his lab.
He afraid of somebody?
I think it had something to do with the air outside, and the germs. I once heard him complain about it.
Smart. What was his job?
Scrub test chief engineer. The lab runs tests to see how a replicant would perform in different planetary gravitational fields. That kind of thing. One of the other engineers could tell you more.
You know if anyone lost an earring like this one lately?
Not one of the employees, that's for sure. The boss enforces a strict dress code around here.
How did Eisendoller's moo-moo fit in?
Hey, you know, company rules only apply to the lesser mortals.
How do I get in to see the big boss?
You don't, unless he wants to see you.
Okay. How do I make him want to see me?
Well, you could call his personal assistant.
Who is?
Don't know offhand.
Yeah, I get the picture. You know anything about Tyrell's computer system?
Security's tight as a drum, if that's what you're asking.
Somebody tried to access restricted data from the terminal in Dr. Eisendoller's office.
But they couldn't get in.
Yeah. Looks like Dr. Tyrell keeps his files safer than he keeps his employees.
Select destination. Police station.
Mainframe and shooting range.
During his last election campaign, Governor Kolvig promised a bold new plan of action to clean up the worst regions of the highly toxic debris that surrounds our city, the so-called kipple. Just how much progress has been made since then? We spoke to the governor just before his weekly meeting with the city council.
Our studies have shown that the kipple's effect upon Los Angeles is minor. The radiation and toxic waste is contained in relatively small pockets, all miles distant from the city center. Nevertheless, Cleaning things up out there is a worthwhile goal, especially with the thousands of specials living on the city fringes. For now, all I can say is that we're looking at several options, and I'm sure everyone will be pleasantly surprised by our final proposal.
Scanning video disk. One enhanceable image found. Adding enhanceable photographs to Kaya database. Tyrell Grav Test Lab.
The earring was shaped like an insect. Give me a hard copy of that. Give me a hard copy of that. A bomb. Give me a hard copy of that.
Laboratory.
Got anything new for me, Dino?
I was wondering when you'd show your mug around here, McCoy. The shell casings from Runciter should be in the Museum of Military History.
How's that?
They're from an Ender rifle. It's standard issue off-world military hardware. Heavy caliber. That puppy can punch right through a tank.
What can I conclude from that?
Whoever used this piece didn't just walk into their local sporting goods store and buy it. Those babies are collectibles, and they ain't cheap.
Anything else?
We got the animal corpses from Runciter's, but there wasn't a whole lot to work with.
Bone marrow?
About 50% were real, the rest were fakes.
So, Runciter was ripping his customers off.
State-of-the-art fakes. Miles beyond the crap you see on Anamoid Row.
The kind that comes from legit manufacturers?
And they're the ones that usually produce the quality.
What about the wounds?
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife, like the perp was really pissed off at something.
Butcher knife?
Could be, but who cuts meat anymore?
Nice bunch of reps I'm tailing. Hope you're not pulling a meat cleaver out of my back next week. Anything else?
That black paint you found on the fire hydrant? It's from a ground car.
You sure?
The angle of impact was almost head-on. And there ain't too many spinner drivers klutzy enough to smack a street-level hydrant in VTOL mode.
I heard your wife got her license back.
You're a real funny guy, McCoy.
Select destination. Tyrell Pyramids.
Messy up there, isn't it?
Eisenduller had used his dog's name as a password. The Tyrell brass wouldn't be too happy if they knew I was snagging a copy of their files, but someone had wanted them bad enough to kill Eisenduller, so I figured they must be worth having.
Select destination. Anemoid Row.
You know who deals in insects down here?
You don't want insects? They're no good companion. But fish. Fish are good. I have every kind of fish for you. Blowfish, dorado, miniature sailfish. Very friendly.
No thanks. I got a dog at home.
Fish just as good as dog.
No, my dog is real.
Real? Oh, you must make lots of money.
Let's get back to insects. Official LPD business.
Down at end of Animal Row, you see big green sign? You try there. Good luck with dog, friend. Hope he stays healthy.
She. This your work?
Ah, dragon.
Dragon?
See? Anosoptera, dragonfly, late of the American South Swampland.
You sell jewelry with dragonflies?
Item like that, very special significance. Very rare, senor. Estate item, and most likely part of large collection. Person must have plenty money to obtain a collection.
More than I can afford.
You try Hawker's Circle. Might want to trade for this. With luck, you may find.
If this is from a collection, I'm also looking for the other pieces.
I make you a deal. I found out where to get dragonfly jewelry. Then, you buy a piece, right? For special lady friend? You come back later.
I'll do that.
You take care, chasing the dragon.
Might I interest you in a snake, noble one?
Not today, thanks. You know anything about insects?
I regret that I do not, noble one, save that I feed them to my snakes.
You do what?
Artificial ones, of course. The safeguards in the design of my snakes would not allow them to swallow a real insect.
I assume that this insect is already extinct.
They all died after the war, yes.
So the fakes must be pretty expensive.
If bought in bulk, the price is acceptable. They do not need to eat them, of course, but the added realism is worth every penny. Have you ever seen such craftsmanship?
I need to ask you...
Certainly the LPD must have better things to do than to question a humble merchant over and over again about the same things. Why aren't you out arresting criminals like that disreputable Bob fellow?
Bob?
He owns the armament shop up the street. He's insane, noble one, insane. He takes peculiar pleasure in agitating all the vendors around here. I cannot even go out for a Shisco whoop without worrying whether Bob is going to sabotage my snakes.
Thanks for your time.
Handsome man like you has lady friend, of course. Doesn't she deserve a gift?
All my girl cares about is food and love.
Oh, how romantic. What is this girl's name?
Maggie.
Maggie. Ah, Maggie, senor. It's perfect, is it not?
It's kind of ugly, but you talk me into it.
There's a clock, I always say. 2 minutes. That's how much time I give every stranger that wanders in here off the street.
Sell a lot of stuff that way?
I don't encourage browsing. What impresses me are people who know what they want and are not afraid to pay for it.
What's the most expensive thing you got in here?
Value is a relative notion. What's significant to you might be meaningless to me.
And vice versa.
Everything here is guaranteed. The finest, most authentic anyone can get.
Let me tell you what I want, and maybe I'll impress you.
All my paperwork is in order.
Doesn't matter. I don't read anyhow. What's your name?
Isa.
You move a lot of valuable goods through here? Valuable and exotic?
How exotic?
We're talking exceptionally fine jewelry in the shape of a dragonfly.
They were so majestic. I remember them from my childhood, and that was the last time I've seen them.
It's very important that I find out about this. Can you help me?
If I see something, and you can match whatever my collectors will pay, it's all yours.
Thanks a million. How about off-world assault weapons? You got anything that's a match for these?
I don't deal in anything from the off-world. Much too hard to authenticate.
A man of your expertise could probably tell, though.
I don't even like to have them in here. My friend Shoshana Yuri picked up the Eos plague from some gunner's space helmet. He was vomiting blood for days.
Step up, step up. Mama Isabella cooked you something special. Put a glow in your cheek.
McCoy, LPD. Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Questions? They always need answers.
This guy work for you?
No, but I wish he do. He be one fine-looking man.
You sure? Never seen him before.
I'd remembered him for sure.
That stew's looking tasty.
Fix you right up. Only dirty chinion. It put a spring in your step, man. The ladies, they be loving you.
You send a lot of deliveries over to Marcus Eisendaler at the Tyrell building?
Eisendaler. Oh, Eisendaler, yeah. Let me tell you, that man can't eat.
Send anything over lately?
No, sir. No deliveries to him no more. Not since last month. He be way behind on his bill.
Not for a month, eh?
At least. No more till him pay up.
You may have a little trouble collecting. He's dead. Thanks for your time.
That a 45 blaster under your coat, or you just happy to be here?
You got good eyes.
They ought to be. They're the only organs of mine that survived the Phobos Wars intact.
Ray McCoy, Rep Detect.
Blade Runner, huh? How come I never heard of you?
I just got assigned.
Yeah, I'm kind of buddies with Davy Holden. How's he doing?
Word is he's gonna be okay.
That skin job must have been pretty damn quick getting by Davy like that. He's the best in the business.
He'll be back on the job soon. You sell any off-world stuff? Like Ender rifles?
Nah, I ain't seen anything like that in years. Wish I had one, though. The Endo was a real workhorse. Good stopping power, decent rate of fire. You looking? Gonna cost you a bundle, I'm afraid.
Not really. Somebody shot up Runsiter's shop with one.
Sucker had it coming. I'm sure of that.
Why's that?
Runsiter's always putting on those airs like he's better than everybody else. But he'll do anything for a buck. Sell anything to anybody. That's where I draw the line. If it's suspicious, it's out of here. Got no place at Bullet Bob's.
You know anyone who might sell Ender rifles?
There's one other guy around here who dips into that stuff. Got a pawn shop down the street. Goes by the name of Ezo. But who knows what the real title is.
Ezo, huh? Sounds like you don't like him.
Ezo's okay. He's run the green pawn for a while. We're friendly competitors, I guess. But I don't appreciate his politics.
Yeah?
Rumors, that's all they are. I was out there, Ray. I did my time. 3.5 years worth. And I can tell you, Rep's got no business being down here on Earth, okay?
Yeah. Earth don't deserve them.
Tell me about it. We got standards to uphold down here.
I hear you've been waving guns around on Anemoid Row.
Who's been telling you that crap, that lying Egyptian snake oil salesman? You want to know what really happened? I wanted to get my daughter a present for her birthday, right? I bought an iguana from that crook Hassan. And the damn thing ran out of juice just 2 days after I plucked down a shitload of Chinyan. Son of a bitch wouldn't give me a refund. So I threatened to burn down his shop.
Sometimes you just gotta be philosophical about these things.
That's exactly what my wife says.
How'd you feel about taking a little test?
You mean the Voight Kampf? You come into my shop and you want to VK me?
Relax, I just...
It's funny. You thinking I'm a rep. Set up the test. We'll see what's what around here.
Reaction time is a factor in this, so please pay attention. Where do you live?
Downtown, 4th sector. Hey, this is great. Should I be sitting any special way?
Just relax. What do you do for a living?
I sell donuts. Come on, is the whole thing gonna be this dull?
Just answer the questions as truthfully as you can. What's your name?
Bob Gorski. This ain't no different than the DMV.
Just a sec. You're crying. Why is that?
What kind of candy-ass question is that?
It's meant to provoke a reaction.
Reaction, huh? Well, I ain't crying. Next question.
Your child comes home with a black eye.
Badge of honor. He's a good kid. Everyone's got to get bloodied sometimes.
You're at a restaurant with friends. One of them orders lobster. The chef drops the lobster into the tub of boiling water while you watch.
I kicked the crap out of the sicko.
Positive result. Subject is human. Test terminated.
So that's it?
Yeah?
Since you didn't shoot me, I must have registered okay.
Yeah, it was touch and go there for a while.
Well, you know, I think about skin jobs all the time. Try to get into their heads. Maybe that's what the deal is.